have any acknowledgements or correspondence tonight?
Yes, tonight.
Do we have any board committee reports? Approval of expanding shared services.
Mr. President, I move that the Willow Board of Education authorize the superintendent to work together with the Ypsilanti School District to develop the safest, most efficient, and cost-effective way for a shared transportation facility to be co-located as soon as possible. And furthermore, that they work together with Washtenaw Intermediate School District to identify and plan for the modifications needed to co-locate all drivers and buses from both districts as a first step in developing a comprehensive transportation solution for the two districts. And furthermore, that they bring this recommendation to their respective boards of education for consideration no later than January 31, 2012, so that all students in both districts can continue to be transported in the safest, most efficient, and cost-effective way possible.
Support.
It has been moved and supported that the Willow Board of Education authorize the superintendent to work together with the Ypsilanti School District to develop the safest, most efficient, and cost-effective way for a shared transportation facility to be co-located as soon as possible. Discussion.
I would just like to make everyone aware that when something comes to the board in January or in February after the deadline of January 31st, this is a recommendation of the Collaboration and Communication Task Force. I believe that we have a decent working relationship with the maintenance men, and when they heard rumors of something that was not even related to this resolution, they immediately called Mrs. Greathouse to get clarification of what really was going on. And we actually showed them the motion and let them read it so that they know that this is what we're talking about. And when we come back, we're coming back in to be able to give the recommendation of the task force. It is for both boards to actually approve something of this nature.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Discussion of contract agreement with WRCS Great Start Readiness Program.
Mr. President, I move the Willow Board of Education open for discussion the opportunity to participate in a county-wide consortium to offer Great Start Readiness Program services to at-risk 4-year-old students in Washtenaw County as per attached.
Support.
It has been moved and supported that the Willow Board of Education open for discussion the opportunity to participate in a county-wide consortium to offer Great Start Readiness Program services to an at-risk 4-year-old student in Washtenaw County as per attached.
Sorry.
What?
Discussion. Sorry,
Discussion.
we do have Mrs. Pam Mish here from the ISD to help answer any questions that you might have on the contract. If you do have a question related to why the contract now and not back earlier, that was because the contract was being drafted, and we had to be assured that the ISD would act as the fiduciary agent. And so now that we are ready, we have the contract before you.
Any questions? I'm happy to answer.
So this will be at the it'll be at the primary learning center.
Yes.
And how many classrooms will it be?
I believe there's only 2 or 3.
We have one at the PLC. We have an AM and a PM. So I mean, I guess you could call it 2 sessions.
Right.
One
I was going to
classroom.
say, yeah, because there's 25 students, I believe.
Yes.
The contract says 81 4-year-old children.
Did that? Okay. You should have received an amended contract that changed it to 34. Originally, Willow One was allotted 81 slots, but when you become part of the countywide consortium of GSRP programs, those slots now become county slots, and so Willow Run will be allotted 34, which is what they applied for at the end of last year. And then the county will take the rest of those slots and they'll be used throughout the county if needed. Or Willow Run, if you have need for them in the future, you'll have access to them then.
Yes, because it is now, for the county.
Right.
We had 81, and then
At that
last year,
point.
we had to reduce to only 34 because we couldn't fill all of the
Right.
81, so that's why we had to apply for the 34 this year. And so, but we were lucky enough for the state to give it back to us as a consortium, which is good, so now we have within the county to find our preschool students, fourth graders our 4-year-olds that can utilize this program. So it did say 81, we wanted to make sure that we weren't on the hook for the 81, and so after talking, we did switch it to the 34.
Right, and we
I'm sorry,
changed
you don't,
it. We
it
were
is
able to
changed, you don't
change
have
it.
it before
Never
you,
revised.
but we'll make sure, yes.
Right.
In bullet 6. It does refer to that bullet 6.
In bullet
Last
6.
sentence, yeah, second page.
Because we
Okay,
did,
yeah, the ISD being responsible for developing a process for the collection of state-required data, and the grantee agrees to participate in the data collection process developed for the county, right?
The district's under the full slots.
So,
we'll make sure that
Yeah.
instead of it saying 81, it will say 34. As it should.
Says 269,000.
Yeah, that's a lot of money,
Yeah.
and obviously that will be reduced based on the 34 slots. I think with 34 slots, the budget that was submitted on behalf of Willow Run was for around 120,000 based on those 34 slots.
How much?
122. Thanks.
does the ISD plan on doing this again next year?
Probably, and I only say that because I'm not 100% certain, but the legislative changes have now made it so that the GSRP funds will go through the ISDs in the state. So I would assume unless there's some kind of legislative change, we'll probably continue. The only other thing that would change it is if, as a county, the superintendents were to say they didn't want to do the consortium. So, but it will be a year-by-year contract, so you'll get another contract next year about this time.
And just to, I guess help us to raise enrollment, should we plan on 81 next year or shoot for, or I don't know?
We can, we pretty actively recruit and, want all of our young ones in school as soon as possible. So it is, if you'd like to speak on that, Ms. Smith.
Yes. By having all of us in one building at the primary learning center, recruitment efforts are going to be a lot easier because we're all in one building. When we recruit for Head Start right now, we're recruiting for GSRP as well as for the kindergarten and first grade. So it's a seamless transition between preschool. We're offering an exemplary preschool program. How we get our funding, state or federal, is irrelevant. It's what we're doing within that building is an exemplary preschool program. So when we do our recruitment, it's going to be for both programs. And when we get our applications, that's what we're doing right now is we're going back through the applications so right now we have a waiting list when it started, as you're aware. And we're going back through the applications and contacting families to see if any income has changed so that we can qualify them for GSRP. Or in the beginning, they qualified for Head Start, so we weren't able to fill those slots that we have 9 slots left in GSRP in the PM for Ms. Mitchell's classroom. But without income changing there, their Head Start qualified. So that's what we're doing right now is going back through our wait list and contacting families to see if anything has changed to make them eligible for the GSRP program.
But we've been, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Have you considered an all-day program?
As far as just having a blended classroom?
No, and I know you have half-day programs, correct?
Yes.
Have you considered an all-day program?